Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Most High, the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Messiah, the only begotten Son of the Most High, which these are the true names of the Most High and His only begotten Son in the ancient Hebrew tongue, which is the holy language which the Lord have given us in these last days to call upon His true name and His Son's true name in spirit and in truth. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the upcoming elders which rule well, which teach well of Great Millstone. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect, the house of David, the 144,000 elect men, whoever you may be. And salute and shalom to the fellow laborers which testify of Yahweh Shai and publish His word. Right, in the world, there has been a lot of things taking place which can lead up to biblical prophecy. You know, a lot of events, a lot of action, a lot of activity, man. You know, militarily, you know, economically, you know, things dealing with AI, things dealing with digital payments, you know, things dealing with what that may lead up to World War III. You know, you have, you know, like always, a conflict in the Middle East, you know, surrounding Israel, you know, in that region. Now, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to get, you know, scripture, you know. So it says, as of February 26, 2025, Israel is engaged in several significant activities across the Middle East, reflecting its ongoing military, political, and strategic efforts in the region. Here's an overview based on the latest developments. Israel is currently implementing a ceasefire agreement with Hamas in Gaza, which began of January 19, 2025. I want to jump down. It says, beyond Gaza, Israel is conducting military operations in Lebanon, despite a supposed ceasefire with Hezbollah. So a nation rises against nation. This is what we're seeing. It says reports indicate Israeli forces have been striking civilian areas, including southern villages in Bekaa Valley, and firing on Lebanese civilians attempting to return home. It says the Israeli military has also maintained a presence in 5 border locations, a move criticized by Lebanon. Now, you have many speculating, you know, jumping right into the lesson. You know, you have many speculating that this is Israel basically moving forward with their ambition to make a greater Israel, to enlarge the border of Israel, you know, to capture more land and claim it as its own. You know, and that's one of the pursuits of Amalek, of Edom. You know, and that may very well be the cause of World War III, you know, speaking as a man. You know, because the next world war is going to happen in the Middle East, man. You know? It says, reports indicate Israelite forces have been striking civilian areas, including southern Lebanon, including southern villages in the Bekaa Valley, Salakia says, and firing on Lebanese civilians attempting to return home. It says the Israelite military has also maintained a presence in 5 border locations, a move criticized by Lebanon, suggesting ongoing efforts to secure its northern border against Hezbollah threats. Earlier this month, Israel conducted airstrikes in Beirut and during the funeral of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, signaling continued pressure on the group. In the West Bank, Israel has escalated operations, including a large-scale raid targeting Palestinian militants accused of planning attacks, displacing around 40,000 Palestinians, the highest number since the occupation began nearly 6 decades ago. Additionally, Israelite forces have moved into a buffer zone in Syria, along the Golan Heights, following the collapse of the Assad regime in December 2024. Now concerning Syria, Syria is one of the is going to be one of the hot spots of World War III. In fact, let's go into. Let me get a couple of scriptures real quick. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12. Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12. It says, and the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. And that has been happening. That's been happening. The literal river of Euphrates have been drying up. It says that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So you're going to have Syria being one of the places for the development of World War III, man. And it's prophecy. You're going to have war in the Middle East. The time shall come when the militaries, they're going to activate their troops, as well as the American military. That's going to be one of the main places. When you look at the river Euphrates, it goes through the land Iraq and it goes through the land Syria. So that's a place that we ought to, keep our eye on. Look at, observe the activity, observe what Israel's doing, because that place will play a part, in prophecy, Now, another thing that caught my eye, which I could, finish reading this. Yeah, let's finish reading this. So it says, citing the need to protect its border after the 1974 disengagement agreement faltered amid Syria's transitional government formation. It says, politically, Israel is navigating a complex landscape. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has engaged with the U.S. President Donald Trump, discussing plans for Gaza that include controversial proposal for U.S. control and Palestinian displacement. Ideas rejected by Egypt and Jordan. These discussions underscore Israel's reliance on the U.S. support while facing international criticism for ceasefire violations and potential war crimes. As noted by some observers, meanwhile, Yeah, and that's the pride of Edom. You know, that's the pride of Edom. You know, because ultimately Esau is talking about a land that is not his. A land that is already inhabited by Palestinians, man. You know, he's so, I think, what it was some weeks ago, Trump basically announcing that he's going to own, or America's going to own Gaza. Well, the scriptures tell you concerning this man's pride. In fact, let's go to the book of Obadiah real quick. So Israel, they want a greater Israel. They want more land. And America want a greater foothold, in the Mid-East, to the point of owning the land, Gaza, which is not theirs, man. It's really created for Israel, But, prophecy has to be fulfilled. Let's go to the book of Obadiah, Salaki. I'm doing something new. I'm outside, walking around a little bit. So Lord willing, I can stay focused while being on point out here, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. In fact, we could read verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. And this heavily applies to, Israel. The state of Israel is insignificant, And now it's coming to a point where America is becoming less of a threat to these other nations. They're seeing America and Israel to be less of a threat, shall I say. So that's what it means. When you go into that word small, it goes into insignificant. Because now it's being made known and it's being manifested that, for example, Iran. It's not, it's not a paper tiger as people think. Iran can be a threat. Those Arab, Palestinian nations can be a threat, man. So America and Israel's being seen less of a threat. And that ties into what? Joel chapter 3. The weak saying I'm strong. Due to these other nations, who are ultimately against America and against the ways of Israel, building up ties amongst each other, cooperating with each other. Now you have Russia, making firm his presence in the Middle East, meeting with, different leaders, of that region, of those different regions, It says, thou art greatly despised. And this is what we're seeing now, that hatred, that contempt. For Israel, for America. Right now we're seeing, Trump and Putin, it seemed like they're clapping hands with each other. They're shaking hands with each other, Thing is becoming a little bit more mild between America and Russia. Even talks of economic cooperation. And mutual benefit, between each other. And Lord will I could read that. But that hatred, that contempt for America, for Israel, is going to only grow. It's going to remain, but it's going to grow as well. This is the pride of thine heart. have deceived thee. And this is what we're seeing now, the pride of Washington. You know, the pride of Israel, the pride of Washington and the pride of Israel. You know, and they're being basically blinded by arrogance, you know, presumptuousness. You know, feeling like they could do whatever they want, such as what? Displacing a great number of people and taking their land. And thinking that that's okay, thinking you could get away with it. You know, that's a form of what? Pride, presumptuousness. You know, doing something, thinking you could get away with it. So the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. It says, though that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yeah, and that's the spirit that Israel have. And this is why they're doing what they're doing. And it's going to continue doing it because they feel as if they will never be, destroyed. They will never fall. But as it says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, meaning what? It's going to ultimately be your demise, your arrogance, your unjust dealings. Because pride is not really, it's not always just an inward, feeling. Just a view of thyself, It also applies to what, how you think leads to action, right? But that also applies to, a nation as a whole. A government, an administration, So what we're seeing is, their prideful actions, the way of doing things, their unjust dealings on the earth, in the Middle East, as well as America. The injuries that they're causing and will continue to cause. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So we're going to see more and more of these hurtful works, from Israel, from America towards these other nations. We're going to see Esau and Amalek continue doing these or causing these injuries, doing these things that's going to rile up the nations. And that's how this place is going to fall. That's how Israel is going to fall. So we should rejoice at that. We should rejoice. So it says these discussions underscore Israel's reliance on the U.S. support while facing international criticism for ceasefire violations and potential war crimes. The pride of their heart, man, which is manifested through their actions. Ideas rejected by Egypt and Jordan. Hey, the scriptures tell you that the dragons of Arabia, in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and chapter 16, they're going to have a part in war as well. It says these discussions underscores Israel's reliance on U.S. support while facing international criticism for ceasefire violations and potential war crimes, as noted by some observers. Meanwhile, Israel's military successes, such as dismantling Hamas capabilities and weakening Hezbollah and Iran's regional influence. have bolstered its strategic position, though its long-term vision for the region remains under scrutiny. In summary, Israel's current activities in the Middle East involves enforcing a fragile ceasefire in Gaza, conducting military operations in Lebanon and Syria to secure its borders, escalating actions in the West Bank, and pursuing diplomatic efforts with the U.S. amid ongoing regional tensions. So another intel I want to go into is this. It says, as of February 26, 2025, Israel is engaged in several significant activities across the Middle East, reflecting its ongoing military, political, and strategic efforts in the region. Here's an overview based on the latest developments. Salaki. I don't think this is the one I wanted. Salaki. And I spoke about Russia, which Russia will have a part as well. The scriptures tell you, be thou a guard unto them, in the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. So Russia is going to be stirred up, and possibly for the the things that's going on in the so-called Mideast. Because of the things that Israel's doing, So Israel, a miracle will find his place in an unstable position on the earth, man. War is going to pursue America, and Israel's going to be in the middle of it. But you believers, continue in the faith that you may be saved from these times, right? Because the nations, they're going to do what they do. They're going to rage. But our help is in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. In fact, let's get Isaiah chapter 33. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures, man. Of Yahweh Shai. Learn it, that these things may be your salvation. Really plain and simple. I'm going to close off in that, Lord willing. This lesson is edifying. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.